Be right back. Did I ever tell you about the time I got a free soda? Yes!
Just leave!
Oh, for God's sakes, we've seen faster pacing in Sonic Labyrinth, and that game had a better story.
Oh, I always feared he might run off like this. Why? Why? Why didn't I break his legs?
There it is.
What is up with the Mobian senior citizens today?
Did I ever tell you about the time I found some money on the street?
You gotta be... No, we just met.
I used the money to buy a soda, so it was like the soda was free.
Get on with it!
And what was she doing at the Chili Dog warehouse? Oh, who cares? Stock backgrounds of prior episodes coming through.
I asked for extra relish.
You got me thinking, Sonny. Today's the day. I'm headed home to drink my soda.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
Gotcha, alien.
Go home, Sticks. You're drunk.
Sonic! Sonic! I have a flat tire and I'm late getting back.
Oh hey, it's that Snagglepuss wannabe from Guilt Tripping. Do you remember that episode?
I'll just fix this flat myself. My sciatica is flaring up, but I'm sure I'll only be laid up for a week or so. You go return your book while I struggle painfully and injure myself.
You know, I just realized something. This show reduces Sonic and friends to nurses in an old folks' home. That's pretty much this show. It's about nurses in an old folks' home. Suddenly, male nurse tales from the Sonic Dissected Reality special is starting to make a lot more sense, doesn't it?
An entire minute is burned off by Sonic having to put a wheel back on the car for the Gogobo from an episode that I admit is better than Adventure Time's episode. Eggman decides to go into end-boss mode and attack the blue blur. Never a good idea, especially if said hedgehog has places to go. Phil, I know you want to include Eggman battles in these episodes, but sometimes they could be unnecessary.
This over a chili dog?
Said every Sonic fan who had seen the episode firsthand. Sonic's comrades fight off the Bandits for a bit and knock Eggman away for the episode. But at what cost?
We're closed.
No, you're not. There's 7 seconds left.
I closed early. I'm taking my assistant to get some of those chili dogs.
Oh my god, what have you done, Sonic? Don't worry, I can fix it. Then Crust, go get me my wallet.
Boss, you might need to look again.
What is it that you— Oh my god!
Thanks, Egghead.
What the actual hell even was that?
I got nothing.
Told you I'd get it here on time.
But not before wasting our time! Ow!
Sensobean!
It is both insulting and sad that an episode of this caliber made it into the portfolio of a franchise of such a great standing in the world of gaming. It's insulting in that it takes the speed and fast-paced action the Sonic games are known for, and them slowing them down with minute after minute of pure, painful, paint-by-numbers fandom as product.
Nothing happening.
You have no idea how long I've waited to dig up that old chestnut. And it's also very sad that the Sonic franchise has gotten to this point, this all-time low, even causing a few of its longtime fans to give up on the guy, plunging Sega deeper in the red and further proving that the brief success of the Genesis might have possibly been a fluke.
I can't take this anymore. As a longtime fan, I consider the classic Sonic games as well as Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 to be great games. But since then, things weren't the same. If you see Yoshi Kyora's video about what makes a good Sonic game, you'll see those pros and cons. Anyway, some people thought that Warren Graff and Ken Pontek were the worst writers in Sonic history. But I beg to differ. Yeah, looking at things like Bump in the Night, Happy Tree Friends, and recently the Crypto episode Bad Hair Day, I say people are barking up the wrong tree. Maybe Sega is like,
screw the whole thing.
And treated Sonic like a joke.
And thus began a never-ending ride of pain and suffering we've come to know as the post-06 Sonic universe. The development teams that actually cared about the Blue Blur tried their damnedest to impress the higher-ups, but after what happened with Sonic 06, the games they produced were nothing but jokes to them. And considering why Naoto Oshima isn't part of Sega anymore, that's saying something. While Sonic Unleashed was a unique twist on the franchise's formula, Sonic Colors provided an interesting mechanic that, I admit, would make a great addition to the franchise should Sega seek to do more with it. That's what they did with the Wii U. Sonic Generations was a love letter to every game before it, and a fantastic birthday present to the franchise. And again, there's Lost World, a stellar expansion as to what Sonic Colors brought to the table, as well as a love letter to Nintendo. Sadly, I feel like Lost World might have been a cry for help, a plea for the Big N to rescue them from 20 years worth of failure. The Sonic universe's characters being shafted in favor of Sonic and Eggman alone, storytelling dumbed down out of fear of another Sonic 06, Sonic free writers existing. It's pretty obvious that the future of Sega's never been cloudier.
Those two writers tried to learn what Sonic was about, but Sega dumbed up the franchise and didn't even care. And seeing as how Ken actually knew what Shadow's character is before writing for Sonic Boom, that would mean Bill is the culprit.
Want some proof? Well, for those of you who have enjoyed the Comedy Central original animated reality TV show Drawn Together, you'd figure out why we think Bill's not that good of a writer to begin with. First of all, you watched Drawn Together. What? Second, Drawn Together was a blatant attempt at imitating South Park without even recognizing what made South Park great to begin with. Incorporating elements that all cookie-cutter crap adult cartoon shows crap out on a regular basis. Filthy, fascist, and a most depressing lack of Dave Chappelle. Third, you watched Drawn Together. What? Fourth, Bill puts way too much emphasis on insulting a specific faction of the human population that actually exists in real life.
Skinner!
Whether it be seniors with the old folks he stuck Team Sonic with, to the Technicolor ethnicities insulted and Drawn Together. I shall now lay my case to rest with how Bill twilights the plot thread of Princess Clara fucking over the Indian burial ground the Drawn Together house was built over.
We will take our sacred land and honor it, just as our ancestors would have wanted.
A casino! A gaudy mockery of their once great society!
Come up with anything. Never, never, never.
Again with the ponies! It's not even a new clip, it's just the same thing with the original audio. You just want to shove ponies down our throats in such an extreme manner as the Sonic fan brats.
There are some bronies that are not extreme about the show. I'm a brony, and even I don't get extreme. If you don't like it, kick me out.
Oh really? Name one thing about Friendship is Magic that you ultimately hate.
Equestria Girls.
Alright, Nymph, I admit it. As a spin-off, Equestria Girls could have been done better. I'm sorry, Nep, but this pony rant is starting to get a little irrelevant, isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry, it's nothing personal. It's just that I don't want to see my voice actor go to waste! They've already wasted a potential appearance from Megan! Please don't go that far. And wouldn't it have killed them to just use regular skin tones? I mean, come on, just the hair alone identifies them easily. Why do you have to go all the way? Is it to imitate Monster High? If so, then your limiting setting has turned you into Doug. I mean, you had one job, Hasbro. Turn MLP-FIM into a magical girl show.
The Emperor of Dollar, everyone. 4 star.
Yeah, the point we're trying to get across is, well, we think Sega's time is up. Don't get us wrong, they've had a great run with great franchises, but the success was only in the Genesis days, when platformers ruled the world. Remember those days?
Shadow.
No.
Boom shadow, boom shadow.
The problem as I see it
Everyone
is that gamers today care too much about graphics and too little about complexity. Hell, look at Call of Duty for crying out loud. Gaming companies today think we're too old for character-driven franchises. The major suckitude of Sonic Boom is living proof. The episode we've seen here just drags. It uses the same old man to eat away a few episodes. It pads out the episode with jokes we've already heard before. The fact that this is actually an actual Sonic episode, an episode designed to waste 11 minutes of your life without anything happening, that's maniacal.
And to think the status quo is God cliche would be used at its worst here. Mr. Ender would think the status quo is God cliche would be a terrible idea. But sometimes
Everyone
it can work, like in the Sidekick, and an evil genius crash on the couch for a few days, and my personal favorite,
if Sonic's arms were tan instead,
boss?
keep
That's awesome.
Eggman
You should go
shaped
check him
like
out.
an
But the point
egg.
is this.
If
The
Knuckles
fact that
would
Sega
work
paid
out
money
his
to
legs,
bring this obvious insult to the Sonic fanbase upon the world, it's basically the company sounding its death rattle. From a wide-eyed console juggernaut ready to bring with a kingdom of great IP,
nothing
to a
to
decrepit old
laugh
third-party
about.
abomination desperate
If all
to
that
grasp
changed,
the
I'd
global
have
whale.
no
Already
doubt.
satisfied
Oh,
demographic, all across the span of 20
they won't
years.
have to fetch.
Yeah, this deserves 3 gags.
I have a feeling this is foreshadowing.
You fucking people.
Nintendo, if you're watching this from the safety of E3, then please, from the bottom of our hearts, please go buy Sega
So are
already.
we gonna see him? Please tell us, Mr.
If you're not gonna do it
Mike.
just for the blue blur, then
When
do
are
it for the
we
treasure
gonna
trove of
see
IPs.
him?
I do believe one of your
He's the
star
only
players
thing
regrets
we
not coming up with Knights, does he? Well, this is the perfect way to solve Miyamoto's problem. And while we're at it, I'm sure Alex Kidd would love some time in the limelight again. And let's not fool ourselves, absolutely nobody wants this abomination to be the last Zelda's game. And everyone in the fandom knows that the Seiya girls would fit right in home in Smash, because all the reasons. And there's still quite a few more franchises waiting in the wings, waiting for you to free them from their hurting.
So please, Nintendo, if you buy the company, bring back these lost souls.
I'm at Comic-Con!
Flash.
Coming up next week on Fandom Arson, an entire month of E3 coverage, in exchange for a troubling trio of trite, courtesy of the Choose and Lose.
And that about does it for this week on Fandom Arson. While we go home and get this off of us, click on the link on our other videos, jump on the first Arson, jump on the latest, follow us on our social networking spaces, and subscribe to our channel if you want the latest on your fandom flame war needs.
See you at E3!